This is the Cubs Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Chicago Cubs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into the Locked On Cubs Postcast here on the Locked On Cubs YouTube channel. My name is Joe George. You find me on Twitter at JoeGeorgeRadio, and the Cubs get the victory 7-4 over the Athletics, moving to 4-4 on the season. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So lots of stuff to get to on tonight's show. Obviously, we're going to talk about Kyle Tucker, fourth straight game with a home run, the first time he's done that in his career. We'll talk about Justin Steele, the home run ball that's kind of, it's getting to him a little bit this year, but he battled through it to get through the seventh. We'll talk about Counsell in this game. Couple moves he made in this game that I thought were very good for the Cubs, especially Justin Turner coming into the game to drive home Kyle Tucker and get that RBI single. Obviously, we'll take your guys' comments. Anything in the chat we'll talk about. I love coming in here and right away seeing from Nicholas, we survived a Steele struggle, and then it was from Cubs 0209, we survive a Stressley save. We'll get to that at the back end. Let's start with the good stuff. Kyle Tucker, fourth straight game with a home run. Suzuki hits a home run as well in the first inning, and Dansby Swanson. This torpedo bat thing seems to be working for him. Like, I don't know why not everyone in baseball is using it, why it's legal, why it's not. But the torpedo bat is a thing, and for Dansby, it seems to be working very well for him. Putting the barrel on the ball, that's the purpose of it, is to make that a little bit easier for whoever's using it right now. Nico and Dansby are the two guys on the Cubs. We see Dansby come through with another clutch hit tonight after the 2 home runs in recent days as well. But Kyle Tucker is really the story of this game. This is everything Cubs fans, like, it's early, right? There's a long season to go. But when you dream about Kyle Tucker in a Cubs uniform, when you hear the Cubs have made the trade, they have traded away Cam Smith for Kyle Tucker, this is what you want. This is what you dream of a player. I saw a bunch of stuff on social media tonight, on Twitter and Instagram, things like that, about this is the best player the Cubs have had in years. Absolutely. I mean, this is the best player that has put on a Cubs uniform since, like, peak Chris Bryant, since Anthony Rizzo and those guys. There's nothing really even close since that trade deadline where everyone was shipped off to different cities across the country. Kyle Tucker's the best player the Cubs have had in a long time. And he's proving it so far. Everything he's doing. And what I love the most about Kyle Tucker is the way he just approaches the game. I saw Sam tweeting about this, and he'll have a show up here in a little bit after us, is Kyle Tucker, a lot of times, like we saw in the home run, super aggressive on the home run. First pitch, he knocks it out of the park. But when he's in an at-bat and that first pitch doesn't go out of the ballpark, he doesn't just typically swing at the next pitch. He grinds through these at-bats. He makes things a challenge for these teams. And how good is it for Kyle Tucker right now? He has, I believe it is now, 9 more extra base hits on the season than the Houston Astros themselves. He is just doing more himself for the Cubs than that team is doing in its entirety. Kyle Tucker is running laps around that trade right now. Again, 8 games into the season, right? Might not be a Cub after this year. But for now, he's absolutely crushing it and has been phenomenal in this one. Let's talk about Justin Steele a little bit in this game. So kind of with the home run theme going here with Kyle Tucker, Justin Steele's definitely has been very susceptible to the home run ball. Today's a weird one again. I mean, we've seen now the Cubs score 25 runs in 2 days in Sacramento. This is a weird ballpark. It's flying out. The Cubs hitters love being there. We see Justin Steele again get hit up for a homer in this game. And there's no panic with Justin Steele. Like, this is not the same conversation that we have with Ryan Presley, right? Because we know what Justin Steele is. It's just right now in the season, he's kind of going through it a little bit. But what I think about Justin Steele that stands out to me in this game, and they pointed this out on the broadcast, when the Cubs don't convert anything after the bases loaded, when Bush strikes out, that next inning, that next half inning is huge. That right there feels like the absolute game changer. You know, whether the Cubs are going to win or lose this game is what happens to Justin Steele in the bottom of that inning, and he gets out of it. And then he comes back out there for the 7th inning, gets 2 outs, gets taken out for Rooker, who's coming up. Merriweather comes into the game there. So All those things are positive on the back end of Justin Steele's performance. The home run ball, you have to find a way to get that to go away, but it really seems like a slider problem at this point. So I'm not too worried about Justin Steele. It just seems to be getting to him early in the season. I know we all would want more from him, but for right now, beggars can't be choosers. The Cubs are back to 500 and have a chance to. They've won their first series of the season. Now they get a chance tomorrow afternoon to get their first sweep of the season before the home opener. That'd be awesome to get back to Wrigley Field before we play the Padres above 500. Really feels like just the season can really get started at that point on Friday when they play the Padres. I'm so jealous the people that are going to be there. It's been so long since I've been to an opening day at Wrigley Field. I've already decided I'll be there next year because it is an environment not like nothing else. Even if it's freezing cold, I'm so jealous of the people that will be at opening day this year. So if you can get back to above 500 to start, after this weird start to the season, the Japan series and everything that's come between now and then, Suarez and all his home runs for the Diamondbacks, and but if you sweep the A's tomorrow with Tyon on the mound, would just be a great momentum swing for the Cubs at this point in the season to keep it rolling. So a lot of positives from this game. Honestly, we'll do our nitpick here before we go to break for the first time and the only time tonight. The only real criticism that I would have in this game, and it's a downer, but again, Justin Steele, he balanced it. Ian Happ gets the sac fly. He makes it 6-4. Everyone advances. They walk Kyle Tucker, which I definitely chuckled at when they did that. I know he's hot, but Suzuki was 2 for 2 on the day. But they make that decision, and it works for them. Suzuki strikes out, Bush strikes out, and they leave him loaded. So that really, to me, feels like the only real negative outside of the Justin Steele home runs that we were just discussing here on the show. All right, before we go to break, let's get to our Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It's Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker, Locked On Player of the Game. 4th straight game with a home run. First time in his career. We had 5 last year. They said in the broadcast the record is 8, which that seems crazy to me that someone would hit a home run in 8 straight games. I have no idea even who it is, but Deshae said a couple guys have done that, which kind of seems baffling to me that you see a guy hit 8 home runs in 8 straight games. So, yeah, you know what? You never know with Kyle Tucker, especially if the wind's blowing out in Wrigley there for opening day and for that series against the Padres. And one more thing, we go to break. Let's get to our turning point of tonight's game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
We're going to talk about these guys more on the other side of our break, but turning point of the game, yes, letting nothing happen after the bases loaded and only getting 1 run could be the turning point of the game. Because of how we're all feeling, because of the comments I'm seeing in the chat, I feel like the turning point of the game is just Ryan Pressly getting the last out of the game with how stressful it's been with Pressly so far as the closer of the Chicago Cubs, especially when you see that first ball, that changeup on the outside, get through the third base line, and you're just wondering, like, is this going to happen again? But I'm going to say that's the turning point of tonight's game. I'm going to take the easy way out and say the 27th out of the game is the turning point because of the stress that Ryan Pressly has already put on our lives. All right, we will take our break for tonight. We'll continue talking about tonight's game, a couple positive moments from Craig Counsell that we saw, and whatever you guys got in the comments as well. It is the Locked On Cubs postcast here on the Locked On Cubs YouTube channel. March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get on all the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and even who's cutting down the nets. Through 2 games, I will, for the rest of the season, and at some point I'll jump on it, might even be tomorrow, keep an eye on the over-unders in these games in Sacramento. It was 7.5 in this game. They've smashed it the last 2 nights, the Cubs and the Athletics. So curious what that opening number is going to be tomorrow with Tyon on the mound against the Athletics in this minor league ballpark. So that might be something I'll be looking at all year long on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com right now and get on all the college hoops action all tournament long. Today's show also brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades. Supply House, whether in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Need help with any order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service. You'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, you can use promo code SH5, that's SH5, for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. All right, so in this game, we saw Porter Hodge get the 8th, Ryan Presley get the 9th. Did not think we would actually see a change in that at this point in the season. I know we all kind of discussed it. I know Sam and Matt discussed it as well, just the idea of how long can you really live on this Presley thing. Not to be a super of a Debbie Downer for him. It's the 6th, 7th, and 8th guys in the bottom of the order for the Athletics. Not going to stand up here and talk to you guys and act like, oh, Ryan Presley's turned the corner. He did what he was supposed to do in this game. The trust tree, he's already far away from it. And, he's going to have to earn himself way back in to come back to where Cubs fans feel confident after just a couple early performances. But he gets the job done. Porter Hodge, also good performance in this one. He gets the walk, gets the double play, pop out to left field. Presley, it was a single. Urshela got the out to center field to beat Crow-Armstrong, and then a double play to get the Cubs win. So we see both guys get someone on base, and they both get out of it. That's what they're supposed to do in this game. So kudos to them for tonight, for doing exactly what we expect you to do. Let's talk about Craig Counsell here. A couple of things, really 2 moments from this game, 2 things I really like. Now, I really like Michael Busch, but Justin Turner coming into the game and getting the RBI single right up the middle with the infielders in to drive home Kyle Tucker is a huge plus for Craig Counsell. And I think speaking of Presley and Hodge and the bullpen of what's happened early on in the season, all the disdain that people have had, I think sometimes rightfully so, for Craig Counsell and the job he's done early in the year, especially when they're talking about him being a $40 million a year or $40 million manager. But this one, the Justin Turner move, I think he deserves to get credit for. That's why Justin Turner is on this roster. You want to have a veteran coming off the bench, and he was clutch when you needed him the most. So he drives in Kyle Tucker there. And then the other move, speaking of Justin Steele, yes, he was at, 73 pitches, I think it was, going into the 7th inning. But he had been hit hard. Like I said, the home runs, it's been a bumpy road this year. Sacramento, the Athletics have gotten their hits in, their licks in at points early in this game. So would he go back out there for the 7th inning with Brent Rooker coming up, who already had taken him deep in this game? Well, the answer, I liked it from Craig Counsell. He gets the first 2 outs. You bring in Merriweather. He gets the final out. And then you move on to Hodge and Presley in the bullpen. So I think you have to give credit where it's due to Craig Counsell. I think those are 2 moves that definitely helped the Cubbies get a victory in the game tonight. Yes, I see it here in the chat. Suarez hit a grand slam in the Bronx. So he's not just getting the Cubs as well. But look, this is, to me, I think this is what you expect to see. Really enjoyed this game from the Cubs and just can't say enough great things about Kyle Tucker. It's just, one thing we haven't really seen from Tucker just yet that I'm very excited to see. We saw Nico Horner get his first steal on the base paths tonight. That is something that we talked about early in these shows, that with Pete Crow-Armstrong and Nico Horner and some of these guys, the speed the Cubs have, the advantage they have, we're really witnessing the power of Kyle Tucker. He's not the fastest guy on the planet, but he can steal a ton of bases this year. So that's also what, is still to come from Tucker. And we've seen him on the move a little bit early on. I think in the Diamondback series, he was on the move in those first 2 games. But there's still more to come from him this year. So overall, I say this game kind of checks all the boxes at this point. Justin Steele recovered. When Ryan Presley gave up that hit in the 9th inning, that was the first time the Athletics had a hit since the 5th. So that kind of, again, shows to what, Justin Steele settling down a little bit after a tough beginning really did to the lineup of the Athletics tonight. Obviously, I'm not surprised to see these in the chat. Clark says time to extend Kyle Tucker. I agree. I would love for them to. Maybe not today. It's April Fool's Day, right? So like, don't do it today, but in the next 18 minutes. But tomorrow is a great day to pay Kyle Tucker, because not only is he the best player the Cubs have had since that 2016 core, you know, I think longevity-wise, unfortunately, because of what has happened to Chris Bryant after he's left the Cubs, being a disaster. I think in the long-term, you know, future, Kyle Tucker would be one of the best players I've seen in, you know, the last 15, 20 years as a Cub. I think he can be that good of a Cubs player if you were to sign him to an extension. He is a guy that, you know, is going to be a top 5 MVP finisher. And clearly, like, if you're an on-pace guy, like, he's on pace for that right now. So, yeah, I agree with the people in the chat. It is, it's time to extend Kyle Tucker. Would very much like to see them do so as well. All right, so just a reminder how this works. We go live 15 to 20 minutes after each and every single Cubs game. We'll be live tomorrow again. So if you're at work, throw up on YouTube. You know, throw up YouTube. We'll be here probably around like 5:30. So probably just right after you're getting off work or right as you get home after the day game. And remember, Sam also will drop an episode pretty much as soon as this one ends as well. Thank you guys for the support. 340 strong right now watching on YouTube. So we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us for these postcast shows. Remember, hit that subscribe button as well. The audio for these shows is available as well on the Locked On Cubs audio feed, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. So the Cubs win. They move to 500 on the season. Kyle Tucker hits a home run in his 4th straight game as a member of the Cubs. And Justin Steele ends with 6 2/3, giving up 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and only walking 1, but getting the win with Ryan Presley getting the save for the Cubs. All right, we will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Sam will be up next. There'll be a video come soon, so make sure you stay here to the Locked On Cubs YouTube channel. Talk to you tomorrow myself. Peace.